To ensure nice tuning and great playability of the guitar, what's important is when you first put the string in, I'm going to start with the low E. Grab the string, slide it in, take the bridge pin with the slot, slide it down in. Did you hear that lock in there when I pulled it up? I held the pin down and pulled the string. If you need to, reach underneath with your finger and you can feel inside that it's locked. I suggest putting all 6 strings on first. Do you hear that lock once again? Okay, give a nice check. Now, it's very important, as we talked, to have the ball end seated, but it's also important to have the proper amount of winds on the headstock. What we like to do here, take the first string, the low E, and manipulate the string. Don't leave it floppy. You can see I'm putting a little tension on it. Come up to the A post and cut it. If you don't want to cut it, hold your finger and then slide the string in, and that'll still give you the right amount of distance. So what I'm going to do is cut the string. I'm going to grab my winder and start putting the string on. Don't over tighten it. We want to tune the guitar up to pitch, not bring it down to pitch. Go to the A string and repeat the same process. From the A, we want to cut at the D tuner. What this will ensure, this distance, is that we have the proper amount of winds. We have 2.5 winds on the low E, and we have 2.5 to 3 on the A. On the D, we'll repeat the same process, and we'll get close to 3. Go to the D, imagine where it's at, if it had an extra post, or if you need to, just lightly fold the string over, and it'll give you the distance. It's very important that if you look, that all the winds stack on top of each other like dimes, from the bottom to the top. Now, the G, we're going to add a little more distance. The reason is the inside diameter core of a G string is very thin. It's about as thin as the high E string, and this is going to be tuned up to G. So it needs a little more wind to get past the break angle of the tuner post. And what you'll find is the very last winds are on the very smooth part of the tuner post. There's no part of the actual hole showing. With the plain strings, go about, you can see they're about 1.5 posts. There's no winds on the posts, so what we need to do is make sure that they have enough to bite into themselves. Same thing with the high E. Now, by ensuring that our bridge pins were in and the string ball ends were locked, did you notice that none of the pins came flying out of the guitar and they're completely seated? It's very important. So now at this point, we're ready to tune the instrument. But with that being said, we're not tuning it completely to pitch because we still need to stretch the strings. Now at this point, we would like to stretch the strings. What I like to do, lift up the string with one hand over the sound hole and just lightly stretch, okay? Same thing with the A, all the way through to all 6 strings. Now I'm not putting a lot of tension on these. We don't want to break the string, we just want to stretch them. Now we'll double check our tuning. See how flat that was? That was from the initial first stretch. Want to check it one more time? Now that our guitar is close to being in pitch, what I'd like you to do, take a small Phillips screwdriver and check the tuner buttons. You don't want them too loose. They need to have some tension there to keep the guitar in tune. You may like them loose when you're putting your strings on, but once they're on, it's nice to have them snug down. Okay, one last final tuning. One final wipe down of any fingerprints I left on the guitar. And as you can see now, the guitar is beautifully cleaned, it's restrung, it's tuned to pitch, and this guitar is ready to play. I hope you can use these tips, and I hope it'll help you out on your next restring. Thank you.